So the last time you saw us enjoying the sun, the snow and the storms in Scotland, the plan was always to head south, get to the bottom of Europe and enjoy those warm winter sunny days at the seaside and actually catch up with our friends who we'd not seen since being in Scotland in the snow, Em and Lou. Like I say, that was the plan anyway, but before we could do that, Mandy needed to finish some exams at a new job. So we all know that isn't a problem for Mandy, she can do anything. So the plan was to head south and get on a ferry. Well, that was the plan, but then something cropped up that Mandy needed to go and get checked out in hospital. The hospital said that they couldn't see anything that was concerning. We explained that we were ready to go on our trip, go and head south, and they said, go ahead and we'll ring you if we need you to come back for any more tests. So we headed back to the ferry to head down south to Portugal, to the sun and the sea. The sea looks okay. There is a breeze. It doesn't look flat calm, it looks okay. So I'm hoping for an okay crossing. And then it was just bombing down the motorways to get south as fast as we possibly could. There was a little bit of a glitch on the way though, and that was one of the cars that passed me flicked something up and smashed my windscreen. But that wasn't going to stop our trip, and it wasn't going to stop us heading to the sun and enjoying this lovely weather we started to see. So the miles kept on building and the sun kept on shining and the temperature kept on rising. And before you know it, we'd made it all the way down to Portugal and finally met up with Em and Lou. Well, we finally made it to Portugal. It's been a day and a little bit since we got here. So got here yesterday. Obviously, instantly met up with Em and Lou for Camper Vibe and basically caught up on everything. Went out for a meal, you know, usual things, catch up, have a walk round, listen to what they've been up to and obviously what we've been doing and things like that. If you've been following Mandy's vlog, Mandy has recently been to hospital to have some tests done, and this morning she had a call about the results for those tests. But yeah, we've actually now got to go straight back to the UK for Mandy to have a few more tests and for treatment for cancer. So not quite the trip we thought. Both still a bit sort of numb by the news, but we've been through a lot over the last couple of years and this isn't going to phase us. We'll just cope with it and do what we can, make the most of it. And yeah, thanks to modern medicine, you know, cancer treatment's really good, and the rate that people are cancer free in remission goes up every year. So there's always hope, and yeah, that's what we're just going to concentrate on for now. Yeah, Mandy's still really obviously upset, and we're both, like I say, a little bit numb from what's happened this morning, the news. I would like to say as well, I'll say it to them, but say it as well, Em and Lou from Camper Vibe, they've been absolutely lovely, really supportive, and you know, listening to everything, even paid for a meal we went out for this afternoon and that. So having friends around and family and everything is going to be you know, important for the coming weeks and months, just to get that sort of support and you know, help or whatever we need. So
one of my biggest worries, overthinking as usual with everything, is that I know that some of you will maybe be a bit upset that I've not told you personally about all of this. As you can imagine, there's been so much going on, and so many people I've had to tell. that it's been exhausting. And I've been, I don't know if my heart can take it, you know, doing all of these phone calls and things. So I hope you can understand that if you've not had a personal message and you were expecting one. But yeah, here's all the details anyway. And you know where I am.
So,
You look good.
okay. So it's been a few days now. In fact, it was Thursday we got the phone call. Today is Monday. And we're about a third-ish the way up France now. Making our way back, and bit of an update. I've had a hospital appointment for, is it a CT scan, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got my CT scan appointment through. I've not had anything about the MRI, so we're thinking it might have been a one-size-fits-all appointment where they'll do them both in one day.
Yeah.
So can't find a number for CT to call them back, but
We figure that hopefully they'll get it sorted out or whatever. But yeah, the state of play is obviously we've had a few days to think about it, and
it's not been a fun few days, that's
No.
for sure. It's we're kind of going through all the bits because there's still a whole lot we don't know. There's which is good and bad.
I think the worst case scenario, and the thing that's probably causing the most problem is that they had to tell us over the phone.
Yeah.
Which is obviously it's good that they did, so we can get back and get everything looked at. But
yeah, they apologise so much for having to do it over the phone. It's like, we really never do this. We never do this over the phone. But it was the only way to get me back. Still a little bit angry. Probably irrationally angry, but it's frustrating with that the first consultant who told John that she'd seen nothing concerning. Yet while she said that, she was rushing through these to get them back in a week instead of 6 weeks. So
yeah, because we were thinking that they'd get back in touch with us in 6 weeks, and then we'd have another appointment which would possibly be in 4 weeks or 6 weeks time,
if indeed there was anything else. I mean, they were checking for all sorts of things. It wasn't just the big C that they were looking for.
No.
They were checking for PID, they were checking for all sorts of things that could cause this, and they'd already found the cervical erosion, which is a real big thing for bleeding when you shouldn't be. So
it kind of made sense, didn't it? And the fact that I'd been there for a long time didn't make us feel like, oh, something new and different there.
Yeah.
It made us feel that,
okay, all right, well, that's done then. It's just cauterized it already. And that's that, because I mean, I had that when I was pregnant, for goodness sake, and that's 30 years ago. So it's like, I don't know, I've got to stop focusing on that, because it's that point of frustration, because the only difference that would have made is the fact that we wouldn't have spent a fortune.
Yeah, we wouldn't have spent $2,500 getting down to the bottom of Portugal and then coming all the way back up.
Again. But
we wouldn't have spent it in a week and a half.
Yeah, because I mean, it's literally like almost a whole budget, really, isn't it? Because the rest of everything else was just little bits of campsites and chilling out and bits of driving, and it's the whole biggest chunk of travel money. Of course, it don't matter. It's just money.
No.
In the scheme of things, it is just money, but.
It's just unfortunate that it happened this way. That if she'd have given us any indication that, oh, just hang around for a couple of weeks, I'm just going to rush this one through. Yeah,
I've seen something that might need looking into further, so I'm going to rush these through. So if you could hang around
2 weeks or something,
because we told them what we were doing and why.
Yeah,
it's not like there was anything that was set in stone about anything. It wasn't. They weren't given the impression that it was unchangeable, that was it. So, but anyway, I think it's easy to come back to that to be the thing to be angry at, regardless of the fact that I should be angry at cancer in general. Whether I should be angry at all. I mean, I'm trying not to Google things. You'll be in my Google filter, which is not quite fair on you.
Yeah, but I've been Googling things to try and prepare myself, or to understand what your needs are, and what you might be going through and all that kind of stuff. And then in a hope to stop you worrying, because I know it's stupid because you are going to worry, but you've been talking about the fact that every new ache or pain, you're thinking, is that it?
Yeah.
And obviously I've been able to go through certain symptoms and say, no, that's not typical, although
anything could be, because we don't know the extent of it yet. And this is the thing. I think the terminology and the wording and their complete and utter seriousness on the phone is what's continually scaring me, because it was just like, no, this is advanced. You need to come back.
And they did say the word serious a few times as well, didn't they? So. And
it's like, we need to get you back. We need to CT your chest. We need to, or CT or MRI your chest. And what we're looking at is operation, radiotherapy, chemotherapy. But we're going to have to get the test results first. So it's all been laid out like that. Like it is.
According to them, they've pretty much said, it's going to be one of two things, or one of three options or whatever, but until the point in time when
I've had the test.
You've got the tests and all the doctors have looked at it, and then obviously we need to have a chat with them about what options are available. So,
but the biggest problem I've got is I feel fine. I feel like I did before, apart from I'm actually not bleeding now. They've cauterised that blimmin' cervical erosion. And I feel fine. I mean, they mention about scanning my chest, but we've been walking up and down hills and stuff. I mean, I'm a slightly overweight middle-aged woman. I get I get a little bit out of breath, but there's nothing.
There's no wheezing or anything like that.
No, I don't feel anything. But then, like, my hips hurt, and I'm like, oh my God, my hips are hurting. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. And then I think I've been sat driving. How many thousands of miles have we driven in the space of 2 weeks?
In the space of 2 weeks, we've basically driven all the way to the bottom of Portugal and had 2 nights where we kind of like relaxed, didn't do a lot, and then literally driven all the way back again. So not only is it not good for your state of mind, it's certainly not good for your body or anything just to be sat here.
Even the fittest of people would probably be getting up with all the aches and pains and things after stuff like that. So it's very difficult to not think everything is to do with that. Every little thing, I've got an itch on my neck, or is it skin? Is it, I've got a little bit of a headache because I've not been drinking enough water. I've got a bad belly because I'm panicking so much all the time. Or does that mean it's in my bowel then? Literally it's not stopping and it's exhausting.
But this is one of the reasons why we want to get back. We want to get back, so we're not putting ourselves through this. We want to get back so that we stopped in one place, see our daughter, and then just make sure that we're ready to speak to the hospital and go through the tests. And relax isn't the right word, but just have
nothing else to do.
To sit around, as awful as this is going to sound, but to sit around without worrying about making it back and driving back and spending money on fuel that's just freaking being burnt just to get back and everything. So and
the safety side of things, because I think there's been times when we've had to stop because we've been so tired because we're not sleeping.
No.
And it's you know when you should stop driving, that, and that's it. And then it's an internal battle. Then it's just like, well, I've got to get back, but I can't do it if it's unsafe for either of us.
No.
Because otherwise, what's the point? You want to get back in one piece so they can make sure that you get the best chance of remaining in one piece.
Yeah, we both just need to get back. And then just deal with it. But I do want to say 2 thank yous. Speaking of the getting back, one of our friends and his subscriber Steve made an offer of that we could just fly Mandy back and he'd drive her van back.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. He's literally just come back from France
Yeah.
and said that I could leave my van at his place in Spain and he would fly back out again and drive my van back. And thank you, Steve. That was lots of crying from me because that was so kind.
But then I wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So I, as selfish as it is, but I want to be with Mandy. I want to obviously, yeah. And the other thank you as well is to Em and Lou.
Yeah. Who was there?
Yeah. It was a difficult time to get that kind of information. I understand why the hospital did it. But at least Em and Lou were there to talk to us and give us a hug and stuff and talk through options and
take the piss, not take the piss out of that, but you know, still
try and lighten the
mood
of it, yeah.
And try their best as their lovely selves can to make us feel better. So yeah, thank you too.
But for now we're gonna get back in the vans and head to Calais. Get a ferry as soon as we can. Go see our daughter. And just go through each day as it is.
And at least know that we're 20 minutes away from the hospital.
Yeah.
And that we are somewhere where people are.
Yeah.
Who we know we can fall back on a little bit.
Yeah.
And also somewhere where it's easy for us to deal with the vans and do whatever it's going to. It's like a second home, isn't it? So,
yeah, it's just less stress. And as awful as that sounds, you know, you shouldn't be stressing, or you should be thinking about this. So that right now, neither of us needs stress, particularly Mandy, because it's also proven to be one thing that can cause all sorts of other issues. So yeah, there's nothing really to say now. We need to wait for these tests.
Yeah.
And Mandy is going to carry on talking about it in videos, and obviously go follow Mandy and catch up there.
Because it's I've already mentioned that I've had the tests and each bit of going back, because I think it's really important. I think it's important that, and no offence to all the fellas, I know you go through your own things as well, but as far as this kind of thing, the reproductive nature of things with menopause and trying to get smears if you're not in one place at the same time, and all the different things, it's important to share this kind of thing, because it could be the bit of information that makes you go get checked out and makes a big difference to your life too. So it's not a big old thing. I'm not on the march trying to fix things for everybody, but this is just me, and it's what I've been doing since I started my channel, so I don't intend to stop anytime soon, so I'll come along with me.
And the weird thing is if menopause somehow masks some of the symptoms of cervical cancer, then that needs to be made people aware of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. How flippant I've always been. So this is us, this is what's happening on a daily basis now, is that we'll be all bullshit and get through the day, and then I think it's just a big shock.
Yeah.
I think it's just a massive shock. But we'll deal with it.
Yep. Go and kick its ass.
And then some.
Right. So, yeah, we'll let you know when we know more. Mandy will obviously let you know on her channel as well. And, yeah, we'll catch you soon.
Yeah.
Take care, folks. See you later.